Hello guys, welcome back to our anime explainer. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of upcoming episode of Battle Through the Heavens based on novel. So let's start. The so-called Demon Phoenix Steps is only this great. The golden light figures that spread across the sky quickly disappeared from Xiao Yan's dark black eyes. They agglomerated into a figure that appeared on his left. A cold smile flashed across his heart. His body completely ignored the fist winds around him. The clan tattoo quickly surfaced on his brow. His aura suddenly soared at this moment. It rose to the intermediate level of the 5th star of the Doshin class. Xiao Yang's fingers were curled as his aura soared. The pink flame rapidly gathered at the tip of his finger. Finally, it turned into a half-inch-long crystal-like finger. It penetrated the many human figures, and ruthlessly pressed the fist behind the golden light. Sizzle. The golden light around Xiao Yang immediately dimmed, after the pink crystal finger pressed against the fist. The densely packed golden light figures disappeared into nothing. Finally, the completely stunned Huang Chen appeared in front of Xiao Yang. He was startled to learn that Xiao Yang had actually seen through his demon phoenix steps, and had found his actual body. Fire-gathering finger. This crystal attack formed from heavenly flames was something that could only be unleashed so well because of Xiao Yang's powerful spiritual strength. That beautiful glass-like crystal finger caused that majestic golden light around the fist to rapidly disappear at a shocking speed. That crystal finger seemed incomparably sharp, as it tore through the Do Chi on Huang Chen's fist and ruthlessly pierced into his bones. Bastard! A heart-piercing pain was suddenly transmitted from Huang Chen's fist. Huang Chen's expression quickly turned dark and cold. The enormous golden light wings behind him cut through the sky like a blade and slashed at Xiao Yang with lightning-like speed. Explode. Xiao Yang's body rapidly pulled back as Huang Chen attacked. His hand seal changed and a cold smile lifted on the corner of his mouth. The pink crystal finger on Huang Chen's palm suddenly turned into a terrifying fire wave as it exploded. The pink fire wave swept across the sky. Its frightening temperature immediately vaporized any moisture of the area. Huang Chen's furious roar followed as the fire wave spread. He had suffered some damage. The sky swiftly became dim after the fire wave spread. Huang Chen's body once again appeared in front of everyone's eyes. The eyelids of many twitched upon seeing Huang Chen's current appearance. The current Huang Chen was no longer as calm as he had been earlier. Most of his clothes had been burned. His entire arm was charred black. A bloody hole seemed to go straight through his palm. No blood flowed out of this wound, because even his blood vessels had been damaged by the high temperature. If Huang Chen had not reacted quickly earlier, his entire arm would likely have been crippled. How regretful. Xiao Yang, who was swiftly pulling back, regretfully shook his head upon seeing this figure. He had managed to find an opportunity due to Huang Chen's arrogance, yet he had not been able to seriously injure him. However, it would be a little troublesome if this fellow's frightening speed was completely unleashed. He does indeed have some ability as the tribal head of the Heaven Demon Phoenix tribe. Even though Xiao Yang had relied on the strength of the purifying demonic lotus flame, he had only managed to make Huang Chen suffer some non-fatal damage during this battle. Compared to the chief of the Hall of Souls, Huang Chen seemed to be harder to deal with. Huang Chen's expression was extremely gloomy as he stood in the sky a short distance away. His head was lowered as he observed his own miserable appearance. A moment later, he ended up laughing from extreme anger. Good, good. You are indeed worthy of being someone who can defeat the chief of the Hall of Souls. This king has really underestimated you today. Xiao Yang's expression was calm. However, a caution rose within his heart. He could sense a vast and mighty Do Chi rippling within Huang Chen's body at this moment. It seemed that the tribal chief of the Heaven Demon Phoenix tribe had become furious. Rumble. Dense dark clouds suddenly surged out of the sky after the vast and mighty Do Chi within Huang Chen's body began to boil. A thunderous roar was emitted from the dark clouds before echoing over the land. Demon Phoenix Holy Statue. Huang Chen suddenly roared at the sky as the dark clouds formed. His body swiftly began to transform. A golden light shot out and a 10,000-foot-large demon phoenix appeared in this world and blotted out the sun. Wave after wave of frightening pressure spread in an overwhelming manner, causing many surrounding experts to feel terrified. This Huang Chen had actually returned into his original form. He has actually pushed Huang Chen to such an extent. Yao Ming's eyes were a little startled after he saw this transformation. His expression quickly became grave. After transforming into his actual form, Huang Chen's strength would raise at least 3 levels. Xiao Yan's situation was not looking good. Xiao Yan's expression gradually became grave after seeing the enormous creature in the sky. The wings of the heaven demon phoenix were like metal. The actual form of Huang Chen could remain perfectly fine even if he forcefully received the attack from a 3 or even 4-star Doshing. Adding to his terrifying speed, he was just like a slaughtering machine. Anything would shatter with a flap of his wings. This will be somewhat troublesome. The enormous demon phoenix that Huang Chen had transformed into gently flapped his wings. A wild wind blew over the ground. His sharp eyes stared at Xiao Yang as a ruthlessness flashed across them. He wanted to defeat Xiao Yang with his hands in the most miserable fashion. Bang! Huang Chen's 10,000-foot-large wings were suddenly flapped as this thought passed through his head. The entire sky seemed to have dimmed the moment his huge body tore through the sky at a shocking speed. Hence, a large black spatial crack ripped through the sky in a flash. A furious thunder-like explosion shook the ears of some of the nearer experts until fresh blood flowed. The towering mountain below was also forcefully blasted into ashes by this terrifying offensive air wave. Hiss! This scene caused many to inhale a breath of cool air. This offensive strike did not require one to use any Do skill. The body of the current Huang Chen was a frightening Do skill. Those who touched it would die. Even an elite Doshing's body would be turned into a bloody mist if one were struck by it. A blurry being tore through the sky and arrived closer to those dark black eyes. Even though it was still some distance away, the terrifying wind pressure had already struck Xiao Yang's body. The chaotic flow was just like wind blades, as they ruthlessly slashed at Xiao Yang's body. Xiao Yang's expression was grave. Both of his hands quickly formed some seals. A huge spiritual illusionary figure quickly appeared outside of his body. After which, an earth-shaking spiritual fluctuation furiously roared and ruthlessly collided with Huang Chen's enormous body. Huang Chen's body was indeed frighteningly strong, but Xiao Yang was not completely helpless against him. Xiao Yang's perfect heavenly state soul was the tribal chief's nemesis. Bang! Huang Chen's speed slowed after his body was being struck by the spiritual sonic wave. Some of the metallic feathers on his body were also broken. His soul emitted an intense pain as it faced this sonic wave. Bastard! Huang Chen's eyes turned blood red after being struck by the spiritual sonic wave. His eyes were vicious as he stared at Xiao Yang. He firmly endured the intense pain within his soul as he flapped his wings again and continued to ruthlessly charge at Xiao Yang. As long as he managed to strike Xiao Yang's body, Xiao Yang would definitely die. With Huang Chen risking everything, the sluggishness caused by the yellow spring divine anger immediately weakened, and he came charging over at an even fiercer speed. From the looks of it, he was clearly planning to kill Xiao Yang in a single strike. Xiao Yang's expression changed once he realized Huang Chen was going all out. He was unable to retreat at this moment. Huang Chen was faster than him, and any attempt to dodge would only lead to Huang Chen catching up with him. At that time, Xiao Yang would likely end up being seriously injured despite the strength of his physical body. A ruthless expression immediately flashed across Xiao Yang's eyes. He once again formed some seals with his hands. An illusory figure appeared again, and this time around, Xiao Yang unleashed the yellow spring divine anger 3 times. The 3 yellow spring divine angers translated into 3 spiritual sonic wave attacks. Those experts, who had originally withdrawn a great distance, were shaken until fresh blood spluttered from them. They hurriedly withdrew even further with frightened faces. Bang bang bang. The three huge spiritual wave attacks ruthlessly struck Huang Chen's body one after another, causing his golden feathers to blast apart. The bright golden light surrounding him quickly became a lot dimmer. Even with Huang Chen's strength, being struck by four yellow spring divine anger caused his soul to tremble intensely. A heart-penetrating pain spread through every part of his body. He did not even possess the strength to flap his wings. What a terrifying spiritual sonic wave! Yao Ming in the distance felt some lingering fear in his heart as he looked at Xiao Yan. He was at the very most only able to endure a spiritual assault at this level twice, before his soul would collapse, yet Huang Chen had received 4 of them and remained alive. The strength of an advanced 5-star Do Xing was indeed unusually terrifying. Xiao Yan, this king will withstand however many times you can unleash that attack. The piercing pain was bone deep within his soul. Huang Chen's mind had become a little blurry and crazy as he endured this great pain. Blood seemed to drip from his eyes. They ferociously looked at the weary Xiao Yan in the distance. He controlled his wings and ruthlessly flapped them. Bang bang. Huang Chen's huge body appeared a few thousand feet in front of Xiao Yan after he flapped his wings. A frightening air flow wildly tore at Xiao Yan's body. The churning do qi on the surface of Xiao Yan's body seemed to scatter, because of the overwhelming chaotic flow. This is bad. The expression of Yao Ming and the rest drastically changed. Huge blood-red eyes were reflected in dark black eyes. Xiao Yan looked at Huang Chen, who would collide with him in the next instant. He did not pull back. Instead, he lifted his hand. A 6-colored brilliant fire lotus slowly appeared. An aura that could exterminate the world quietly spread. However, Xiao Yan was just about to toss this fire lotus, which was formed from 6 types of heavenly flames, when an explosion suddenly erupted from the neon serene spring below. A light pillar shot to the sky and cut through the space between Xiao Yan and Huang Chen. The light pillar radiated with 9 different colors. The enormous 9-colored light pillar pierced the sky. Its beautiful luster caused the land to appear a lot livelier. This sudden unexpected change caused many to feel shocked and stunned. Clearly, they did not understand where the 9-colored light pillar originated from. This kind of pressure, Yao Ming and the other elders from the 9 serene deep-ground python tribe stared at the light pillar with shocked and uncertain eyes. They were able to detect a pressure that originated from within both their bloodlines and souls. Bang! Huang Chen's enormous demon phoenix body was unable to stop in time. It violently collided with the light pillar in front of countless pairs of startled eyes. A loud earth-shaking sound abruptly reverberated across the sky. The sky and land seemed to tremble because of this fierce collision. Crack crack. After Huang Chen's full-force collision, the 9-colored light pillar cracked. A huge crack line formed as though it was possible to break a light pillar. The surface of the light pillar blasted apart, and a 10,000-foot-long 9-colored snake tail suddenly erupted from the light pillar. It was swung and firmly wrapped around Huang Qian's body. The light pillar collapsed and a huge 9-colored python, that was even larger than Huang Qian, glaringly appeared in front of many pairs of eyes. Hiss! The inhalation of cold air immediately sounded one after another as everyone looked at the huge 9-colored python, which filled the sky. Shock surged into the many pairs of eyes present. This is 7-colored heaven-swallowing python. Those elders from the 9 serene deep-ground python tribe revealed stunned eyes as they stared at the brilliant python. The large python's body radiated with 9 colors. It was colorful and extremely beautiful. Those human-sized scales contained a gorgeous luster as they covered that enormous body. The body of the snake slowly wiggled. It vaguely emitted an overwhelming feeling that seemed to be able to easily shatter a mountain range. This feeling shook one's heart. It is not a 7-colored heaven-swallowing python. It is the legendary 9-colored heaven-swallowing python. A great wave seemed to have stirred in Yao Ming's heart at this moment. The 9-colored heaven-swallowing python was a divine creature that seemed only exist in the ancient folktales. From a certain point of view, such an existence was even stronger than the ancestor of the snake-type magical beast, the ancient heaven python. Due to them being few in numbers, the reputation of the nine-colored heaven-swallowing python was far inferior to the ancient heaven python. However, being the tribal chief of the nine serene deep-ground python tribe, Yao Ming naturally understood the strength of this nine-colored heaven-swallowing python. Even during ancient times, the nine-colored heaven-swallowing python had hardly ever appeared. Moreover, each time it did, it would stir shock within the snake tribe. Yao Ming had never imagined that he would actually be able to personally see this divine beast, which only existed in the legends. The current nine serene deep-ground python tribe was the tribe with the closest bloodline to the ancient heaven python among the snake tribes, but this pride was not even worth mentioning in front of a nine-colored heaven-swallowing python, because the bloodline of the nine-colored heaven-swallowing python was a little stronger than the ancient heaven python from a certain point of view. The pressure from his bloodline originated from this. Cai Lin actually possesses such an identity. No wonder Xiao Yan allowed her to train in the nine serene spring. At this moment, Yao Ming finally understood why Xiao Yan had allowed Cai Lin to train inside the spring, which even he could not stay in for long. A nine-colored heaven-swallowing python. How is this possible? How can there be any nine-colored heaven-swallowing python remaining on the continent? Huang Chen's huge body was firmly restrained. He looked at the nine-colored python in front of him, which was staring at him with ice-cold snake eyes and extending its snake tongue. A shocked expression surged within his eyes as he involuntarily cried out in disbelief. The huge python in front of him was an existence comparable to the heaven phoenix. Why did it still exist in this world? The snake eyes of the huge nine-colored python remained icy even as Huang Chen roared in disbelief. The huge snake tail that had been firmly wrapped around his body gradually constricted tighter. That terrifying squeezing force broke the metallic feathers on Huang Chen's body. The bones in his body continuously emitted a strange creaking sound. Even the space itself had become a little distorted. Damn it! A shock and fury flashed through Huang Chen's huge eyes as he sensed the powerful pressure that contorted his body. He let out a sharp cry toward the sky as a bright golden light shot out of his body in all directions. Under the golden light, the feathers on Huang Qian's body suddenly stood up. They were like sharp blades as they wildly hacked at the huge nine-colored python's body. Sparks started to rain down like a firestorm. Hiss hiss. The eyes of the nine-colored huge python gained a colder glint as Huang Qian struggled to retaliate. He saw the snake head sway, and dozens of seven-colored snake scales suddenly fell. These scales shook and changed into dozens of enormous seven-colored heaven-swallowing pythons in front of many shocked eyes. After which, the snake tails entangled with each other like a snake web. Finally, dozens of seven-colored heaven-swallowing python cried out toward the sky. The snake web subsequently shrunk, at a speed visible to the naked eye. Bang bang bang. The rate at which the snake net shrunk was frightening. A squeezing force, which could not be described, was formed by the net made out of snakes. Even space itself collapsed. Hiss hiss. Huang Qian was at the middle of the frightening squeezing force. He involuntarily felt some panic and fear despite his strength. Even he would likely be seriously injured if he were struck by that net. A desire to withdraw immediately rose in his heart. His enormous body strangely shook, as he forcefully freed himself slightly from the nine-colored heaven-swallowing python. Soon after, his huge body quickly shrank and transformed into a human figure in front of many pairs of eyes. The wings on Huang Qian's back were flapped after he returned to his human form. Wind blew and thunder reverberated as his body penetrated space and hurriedly rushed out of the snake web. Bang! Huang Qian was extremely fast and ferocious. Both of his wings were flapped and he narrowly fled through a gap in the snake net. Just as he thought that he had escaped, an enormous shadow suddenly descended from the sky. A bright and colorful snake tail ruthlessly smashed into his body. The powerful air explosion smashed into the ground 100,000 feet below, forming a 10,000-foot wide pit. Huang Qian immediately spat out a mouthful of fresh blood after being firmly struck by this snake tail. The frightening strength shook him until his internal organs shifted. His body was just like a cannonball as it flew away. Finally, he violently shattered a mountain in front of many stunned eyes. After which, he rubbed across the ground and formed a 10,000-foot deep gully before he came to a slow halt. Many pairs of eyes looked at the gully, which stretched into the horizon. Their throat involuntarily quivered. Their eyes had gained an additional fear when they looked at the 9-colored heaven-swallowing python in the sky again. Even an ordinary elite Doshing would likely be turned into a bloody fog from this tail strike. Gulp. The bodies of those experts from the Heaven Demon Phoenix tribe stiffened at this moment. Their expressions were stunned. None of them dared to move forward to rescue Huang Chen, because of the incomparably intense pressure radiating from the sky. While the entire sky seemed to have fallen into silence, the enormous 9-colored heaven-swallowing python in the sky slowly began to curl up its huge body. Then, a colorful and brilliant luster surged from its body before the heaven-swallowing python's large body began to shrink. Finally, it turned into a beautiful figure with enchanting curves in front of many startled eyes. The luster in the sky gradually scattered. That enchanting figure appeared in the eyes of many figure. Cold, enchanting, and capable of bringing disaster to a country. The hearts of many pounded at a faster rate once they saw this bewitching appearance mixed with an iciness. Such a person could be described as the ultimate temptation. The bewitching figure revealed herself in the sky. Her hand pointed at the dozens of 7-colored heaven-swallowing python in the sky and beckoned. The snakes whistled down before turning into many 7-colored lights that rushed into her body. Those are actually spiritual bodies of 7-colored heaven-swallowing pythons. Only after she began collecting those 7-colored heaven-swallowing python did Yao Ming and the others shockingly discover that these heaven-swallowing pythons were not made of energy. Instead, they were true heaven-swallowing python souls. Dozens of 7-colored heaven-swallowing python souls. Even Yao Ming's head became a little giddy after realizing what they were. The remaining elders from the 9 serene deep-ground python tribe all revealed dull gazes, appearing just like fools. How could so many of these extremely rare 7-colored heaven-swallowing pythons appear at once? The beauty in the sky completely ignored their shock. Her eyes, which contained a lazy iciness, slowly swept her surroundings, as though she was a queen inspecting her subjects, appearing cold and mighty, but anyone who made contact with this pair of eyes, which contained a trace of laziness, would feel their hearts beat harder. Some of those mentally weak individuals revealed bright red faces, as the Do Chi within their bodies became chaotic. The demonic beauty's eyes merely swept briefly over the area below. They shifted away without pausing. After which, she turned her head slightly and looked at an area a short distance behind her. A black-clothed young man was standing in the air. His face contained some gentle smile. A pair of dark black eyes were filled with joy. Her eyes paused on that young figure, as the mouth on her bewitching face slowly lifted into an arc. She was like a blooming peony that was filled with great allure. Her beauty was soul-stirring. Xiao Yan's was a little absent-minded after seeing Cai Lin's dazzling smile. He immediately swung his head and recovered. He softly laughed. "Have you completed your retreat?" "I?" Cai Lin smiled. Her narrow pretty eyes slowly swept over Xiao Yan. Her narrow, crescent-like eyebrows were lifted. She asked, "Has your strength grown significantly again?" "I cannot compare with you." Xiao Yan spread his hands. His eyes were a little helpless as he looked at Cai Lin. From the way Cai Lin had appeared, it was obvious that her strength had soared to a relatively powerful level during this retreat. This had left him a little speechless. He had also headed to the bottom of the spring, but he had not found anything unusual about it. After Cai Lin had entered this so-called ordinary spring, she had ended up gaining a lot. This blessing really caused one to feel envious. "Is that so?" Cai Lin shifted her feet. She carried a tempting fragrance as she approached Xiao Yan. Her pretty eyes slightly flickered. Her long delicate finger suddenly pressed toward Xiao Yan with lightning-like speed. A 9-colored luster was vaguely present on the tip of her finger, while a mysterious energy quietly spread from it. Xiao Yan involuntarily shook his head upon seeing her test his strength. A pink flame rose in front of him, and Cai Lin's finger dangerously paused outside of the flame. She glanced at Xiao Yan and said in a regretful voice, "I thought that I would have surpassed you after exiting my retreat. Even now, Cai Lin deeply remembered the feeling of being far stronger than Xiao Yan back then. However, her somewhat strong self was a little depressed that something like being stronger than Xiao Yang would likely never appear again. Xiao Yang was helpless. Cai Lin seemed to have once again become that Queen Medusa of the past, who was difficult to tame, after exiting this retreat. She was cold and enchanting. Additionally, she also possessed an even greater confidence. "All right, stop messing around. What level is your strength now?" Xiao Yang bitterly laughed in his heart. He quickly became serious and asked after discovering that his spiritual perception was unable to detect Cai Lin's actual strength. Not because she had surpassed him, rather it was due to Cai Lin's aura being overly mysterious. It was impossible for him to gauge it. It should be around that of a 4-star Do Xing. Cai Lin also smiled and replied honestly after seeing Xiao Yang become serious. Regardless of how powerful she was and how strong she acted in public, she still displayed a rare warmth and obedience in front of her man. That attack from earlier does not seem like something a 4-star Do Xing can use. Xiao Yang slightly lifted an eyebrow. That shrinking snake net Cai Lin had unleashed earlier caused even someone as powerful as Huang Chen to have no choice but to temporarily take shelter. A mere 4-star Do Xing was unable to do that. I borrowed an external strength. Cai Lin naturally did not hide anything from Xiao Yang. She took a step forward and became closer to Xiao Yang. After which, she lifted her hand. Her sleeve fell and revealed her jade-like wrist. There were many 7-colored snake symbols extending from her wrist up her arm. Only some snake symbols were present outside. They contained an unusual charm that tempted one into trying to probe deeper. A strange expression flashed across Xiao Yang's eyes as he studied her arm. His large hand grabbed Cai Lin's seemingly boneless wrist in front of many envious and fiery hot eyes. His finger gently rubbed the many 7-colored snake symbols. A grave and shocked expression surged into his eyes a moment later, because he discovered that these snake symbols actually possessed their own life force. In other words, these snake symbols were not energy bodies. They were genuine 7-colored heaven-swallowing pythons. The bottom of the 9 serene spring hides the lair of a tribe of 7-colored heaven-swallowing python. I have obtained the inheritance of their ancestors. There are some ancestors among them with part of their souls still present despite their damaged physical bodies. I have awakened them, and they have attached to my body. I was only able to fight Huang Chen by borrowing their strength. Otherwise, if I merely relied on myself, it is likely that I would not have been able to defeat Huang Chen. Cai Lin softly explained. So this is the reason. Xiao Yang only came to a sudden understanding in his heart, after hearing Cai Lin's brief explanation. Who would have imagined that the bottom of the 9 serene spring actually hide the remains of a lair belonging to the 7-colored heaven-swallowing python tribe? It was truly a lucky encounter for Cai Lin. This world was filled with all sorts of mysterious encounters. The reason he was able to obtain the purifying demonic lotus flame could be considered his own mysterious encounter. Will there be any problems? Xiao Yang's finger gently pressed down on a snake symbol on Cai Lin's arm as he inquired. Although these ancestors possess some soul fragments, they are not complete souls. From a certain point of view, they can all be controlled by me. Cai Lin's expression was a little dispirited as she replied. Xiao Yang relaxed only after hearing this. He comforted, "It's fine. If we have the opportunity in the future, we can try and see if we can repair their souls. However, the most important thing now is to resolve the trouble in front of us." Xiao Yang's eyes shifted to the mountain ruins as he spoke. A miserable figure had struggled into the air from that spot. That figure was Huang Chen, who had suffered a heavy blow from Cai Lin. Cai Lin by the side also slightly nodded. Her pretty eyes shifted to Huang Chen. The warm smile on her face had been wiped away. Her eyes had gained a cold glint as murderous intent surged within them. Cough. Huang Chen coughed intensely in front of the countless pairs of eyes. He wiped off the trace of blood from the corner of his mouth. His eyes glanced at Xiao Yang and Cai Lin in the distance in a sinister manner. Panic flashed across his heart. He was still unafraid if Xiao Yang was alone, but another had appeared, who could seriously injure him. Even Huang Chen would feel a great pressure if these two cooperated. Had I known that Xiao Yang's woman was a 9-colored heaven-swallowing python, I would not have intervened, damn it. Huang Qian's eyes flickered. His heart felt regretful. Originally, he thought that this matter would not be troublesome. Who would have expected such an unexpected change to suddenly occur? The entire sky was quiet while Huang Qian was silent. Those experts from the Heaven Demon Phoenix tribe exchanged glances with each other. None of them dared to speak. Even the almighty Huang Qian, in their eyes, had been beaten into such a miserable state. Their pride from earlier had already been scattered by Xiao Yan and Cai Lin's ferociousness. Ha ha, Chief Huang Qian, are you planning to continue on trying to capture your target? Xiao Yan glanced at Huang Qian, who had become quiet. Finally, he opened his mouth and broke the silence. Huang Qian's face twitched upon hearing this question. His expression was volatile as it continued to rapidly change. Finally, he said in a hoarse voice, Xiao Yang, this king has lost this time around. An uproar was immediately stirred after Huang Qian's words escaped his mouth. No one had expected the tribal chief of the Heaven Demon Phoenix tribe, who was renowned within the Beast region, to actually admit defeat. You don't really think that this matter can be put to rest just by admitting defeat, do you? Xiao Yang's voice contained some ridicule. However, both of his eyes contained a chill. If he had come a little later today, something might have gone wrong with Cai Lin's training. How would he face Xiao Xiao if anything happened? Shall we kill him? Cai Lin by the side inquired in a faint voice. A murderous intent was revealed in her tone. Huang Qian's expression was a little ugly after seeing that Xiao Yang did not stop coming after him. He coldly said, saying that I admit defeat does not mean that I am afraid of you. If we were to really engage in an all-out fight, I would still be able to pull one of you into death's embrace even if I cannot win. Xiao Yang shifted his eyes. The chill in his eyes did not diminish while a 9-colored luster surged onto the surface of Cai Lin's body by the side. Yao Ming in the distance widened his mouth upon seeing them prepare. However, he eventually stopped himself from speaking. From his point of view, it would not be beneficial if Xiao Yang really killed Huang Qian. At that time, the Heaven Demon Phoenix tribe would definitely seek a crazy vengeance. Faced with one of the 3 great tribes, the Heaven Demon Phoenix tribe, even the Sky Mansion Alliance would end up with a great headache. If the Hall of Souls were to quietly intervene, it might end up causing a great disaster for the Sky Mansion Alliance, which could destroy it for good. You? Huang Qian's expression was a little gloomy, but his heart felt bitter. Given his current condition, he would most likely end up dead if he were to deal with Xiao Yang and Cai Lin together. Xiao Yang, this king will inform you of some news. Perhaps you will no longer be interested in remaining here after hearing it. Huang Qian's eyes flashed. He violently clenched his teeth as he spoke in a deep voice. Oh? Why don't you tell me and we'll see? Xiao Yang lifted his brows and replied with a calm expression. Aren't you wondering why this king has chosen to launch a campaign and attract you over from the Central Plains now instead of earlier or later? Xiao Yang's expression slightly sank. His eyes locked onto Huang Qian as he demanded, why? Huang Qian smiled upon seeing Xiao Yang's reaction. He suddenly asked, it seems that your relationship with the new Dragon Emperor of the ancient Void Dragon tribe is quite good, right? Xiao Yang's expression gradually became ugly. His heart began to feel an unease. His tone was dense as he said, do not try my limited patience. If I was you, I would immediately hurry to the empty realm now. Otherwise, I'm afraid that you will only be able to go and collect the corpse of the new Dragon Emperor. Huang Qian laughed. That young thing really doesn't know her limits. Does she really think that it is so easy to unite the ancient Void Dragon tribe? Xiao Yang's expression became completely gloomy. He suddenly lifted his palm. The dragon seal present on his palm had actually gradually dimmed at this moment. His limbs immediately became ice cold. Let's go. Xiao Yang struck his palm forward without explaining anything. He tore through empty space. Without saying anything more, he moved his body and swiftly entered. Cai Lin behind him frowned slightly before she hurriedly followed. Huang Chen, I will remember this matter today. If anything happens to Xiao Yan, I will get your entire Heaven Demon Phoenix tribe to repay with your lives. A cold smile had just appeared on Huang Chen's face, as he watched Xiao Yan and Cai Lin hurriedly leaving when the dense voice that was emitted from the spatial crack froze his smile. This video will end here.